We appreciate everybody tuning in. This is certainly a great honor to be sharing our little corner of the world with all of you. And the world is a pretty strange place right now. I appreciate you tuning in and having an update with us. And what an update it is! We are going through and showing you a whole bunch of new stuff for the game today. We've got, as you saw on the preview screen, we've got the champion reveal today, a new board which we're calling the Arena board, and finally we've got a special game update that we'll get into in a little bit. But I'd like to introduce my co-host Andrea, the lead game designer. How are you?
I'm as good as can be. Good morning from Sydney. Hi to my friends and family back in the States.
All right. So today we are going to be revealing the final champion, our sixth champion, the champion of war. This will round out a full suite of characters. We have unveiled all of the champions to date. And from left to right, we've got our silhouetted champion. And then we have the champion of death, Neferu, the champion of deception, Orfeo, the champion of magic, Pallas, the champion of light, Lysander, personal favorite, and the champion of nature, Selena. All of the 5 origin stories of all of those, which have been written by Kelly Diggs of Magic the Gathering fame, are up on our blog page. I guess we're ready to reveal our 6th champion now. This is Volka. And Volka is obviously a northerner, and she has a gigantic axe.
Yes. And a gigantic stein.
Loves a beer.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. She's, listen, when you go out and you do the work you need to do, you work hard, you cut hard,
yep,
you drink hard.
And definitely she's a member of a northern tribe, and the tribe that we've given her is Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, that's correct.
We have the animation on the character. She's got a head nod. She raises her stein a little bit. There's beer sloshing around. There's sort of the embers sort of rising up from out of her axe and her weapon, her armor.
Yep.
And the story behind her axe is amazing, and you'll get to reading that tomorrow. But it's the details in the background, the shadows that are flittering about, the people talking to each other, the guys in the back are actually speaking to one another. The candles are flickering. It's just such a beautifully put together piece of animation, and that's really what got me.
The fun I have had playing Velka and her minions over the end of the Australian summer here has just been it's been so good.
All right, well let's dive into it. Let's dive into the story cards. First up, we're going to change it up a little bit and just go straight into Valka.
We're starting with Valka, Champion of War.
All right, so a 9-mana 8/8 card. That's kind of cool right off the bat, and she has Frontline, Twin Strike, and Overkill. And the raw is pretty interesting. Deal X damage to all enemy creatures, where X is equal to this creature's strength. So she basically comes out of the gate and does 8 damage to everything on the board.
At least.
There is a way to increase that, yeah. Afterlife. Yeah. Give all friendly Valkyrie in your hand, deck, and board +3/+3.
She is Valkyrie, and what that means will be clear when you read Kelly's amazing origin story. That story is going live tomorrow. The story is not whimsical. Nope. This is nothing like Pallas' story at all. But you'll just have to see it. An axe that big is not ornamental. But yeah, let's talk about the gameplay. So 9 cost cards need to be incredible, right? I mean, and spoiler alert, she is. You need to last all the way up to 9 mana to play her, which is usually happening on turn 16, possibly 15. there's not a lot of acceleration options available to War. Man, if only there was some way that like maybe War decks could play with some of the mana ramp that... never mind, that'll never happen. For me, creatures that cost 7 or more that don't have Blitz are usually pretty bad. But she makes up for it by wiping the board. And importantly, it's a one-sided wipe. She hits the table, and almost certainly each of those creatures are either dying or dead. If you get to start a turn with it, it's got Twin Strike and Overkill, which means it's killing 2 things, and it's overkilling on each attack. You're probably going to win the game.
And that is our next card, Volka's Axe.
Volka's Axe, yeah.
So I might just read the card here. So after you play a war card, add 1 durability to this relic, and it starts with 0 durability. Ability, deal 4 damage to all creatures, then remove 3 durability from this relic. So you can't activate this relic until you've played at least 3 war cards.
No. So and so that's a very common mistake. Even some people on my design team have made that, and we're trying to find the perfect wording to make that clear. But the durability removal is not a cost in this case. So you see, deal 4 damage and then remove durability. So no matter what, if you start with this in play at the start of your turn, so you can't use it the turn you play it, because that's not how relics work, but no matter how much durability it has, you can use it and deal 4 to everything. When you play this card, you're going to need to then play 3 other war cards to get enough durability onto it so that you can use it twice. And that is a big thing to do, right? But it has to be. This is the most expensive of the signature relics. 6 mana, yeah. 6, and it has the most dramatic effect. It's dealing 4 to everything. The next card is called Trial of the Shadows. That's correct. So we've seen several trial cards. This is the last one. This is the trial card set by the Goddess of Deception. Why don't you go ahead from there? All right, so a 7 mana card, and it fills your side of the board with Shadow of Lethanons. So Shadow of Lethanon is a creature. It's a deception creature that is a card in the set. It is a 1 mana 1/1 that hides itself at the end of your turn, and at the start of your turn, it deals 1 damage to your opponent's god. So Valka's Discovery is the lowest cost of the Triumph cards. Yep. And what this does is it's a 3 mana card that removes Protected, Hidden, which goes to the previous card, Sleep and Backline from each creature, then deals 1 damage to each creature. And all of those Nether Shadow of Lethanon creatures are 1/1, right? That's correct. So in addition to being hidden, they're also 1/1, so unless your opponent has done something remarkable, Valka's Discovery will directly kill them. But this is the first card in the game that removes Hidden. It also removes Sleep. It removes nearly everything. Doesn't remove Ward, and the way Ward interacts with this is kind of complicated, and we'll talk about that in a future thing. And removes backline, but not frontline. That's correct. So Velka has no patience for those that deal in tricks. She'd much rather have a direct contest. And when she can't have it, she'll find a way anyways and use her axe in the method. We've got a couple of creatures that will support Velka, obviously war cards, so I thought we'd take a look at those next. Excellent. We have the Valkyrie Weaponsmith. So it comes onto the board with Twin Strike and a roar that says, if you have a relic equipped, give this creature and your relic +1 to attack. Giving the +1 attack to your relic is a nice little minor benefit. Giving it +1 attack is pretty good. 5/4 Twin Strike for 5 is on rate, more than enough. Even if you don't get any of that at all, 4/4 Twin Strike for 5 is pretty okay.
This is a 4 mana for 3 card. It has a roar that if you have a relic equipped, give this creature God Blitz. Now that's unusual.
That is the first time that a creature has ever had God Blitz. And it doesn't have it directly. You have to jump through a hoop to get it. But it's worth it. If you want to smash heads, this will do the job. So Bladesworn Warrior is in a weird place in a control deck. So on a base level, this card is actually more at home at the war mid-range aggro control. But when I play it in my straight control deck, what this card does is it keeps your opponent honest. You know, for people that are familiar with American baseball, this is a change-up pitch. They have to respect your mid-game attacks. When you play this and you smash face, now they can't just rely on the fact that you're building to something at turn 16. They have to worry at turn 5.
The final card that we're going to talk to you today about is Howling Berserker.
So there's a lot going on with this card. We felt it was important that if we wanted to enable war control decks to go all the way out to 9 mana, we needed more than one card that would serve as the payoff for that. Velka is legendary, so you can only have one in your deck, right? We really wanted people to be able to put 2 or 3 high-end cards into the style. And while there are some cards that do that now, we wanted to add another dimension to that. Howling Berserker plays completely differently than Valka. When you play him, you get a copy immediately. Then, at the end of the turn, each of those copies make a copy. Now, those copies will not make another copy that turn because at the end of your turn has already happened. But still, when you play Howling Berserker, it makes a copy and they make a copy. So you're getting 4 of them. And when they make their copies, they're using whatever stats they have to make them. So if you buff it in hand, you're going to get 2 of them that are bigger. And if you buff them when they're in play, they're going to get even bigger then. They always make more. So copies made at the end of the turn won't make additional copies. And copies that are made don't trigger Roar because Roar only triggers when it's in your hand. But at the end of your turn will work. And so they'll keep coming. And if your opponent doesn't kill every single one of the Howling Berserkers, they keep coming. The power here for expert deck builders is almost unlimited, which is what you would expect from a 9-mana card.
Nice. All right. So,
and yes, it's a bit of a meme. Howling Berserker is meme-tastic. We agree. We absolutely agree. And as a Valkyrie, if you play Velka, Velka is not enough to win the game. Velka is killed. Your Howling Berserkers are now going to start at 4/4 because they're all going to get +3/+3 in your hand or deck or board, and that will help all the way around. So yeah, there you go.
All right. We are going a little bit over time, so we will move along to the new game board. And after that, we've got a special game update. But we wanted to show you this new game board because it is beautiful. And it is called the Arena board. And it looks a little bit like this. So we've been working on this for quite a while, and it's actually constituted a fairly dramatic change in the way that we light our scenes in. And this board is a little bit of a transitionary board. So it's moving from having dynamic lighting to baked in lighting. But you can see it's just got a little bit of subtle animation in there. And it's obviously it's a fairly sort of, there's a little bit of a war theming there with the orange and the grates and things like that. We really wanted to make it a nice, clean board. We wanted to give it a sort of a nightimey vibe. And yes, the top and the bottom are different.
This is a statement, I think, about all of the boards. We want them to feel different, right? So we have some of the boards that are deserty, and then you've got this clean one, and then we're going to have the Spires one and the Temple one and everything in between, right? The gigantic dragon with their hoard of gold, you know. And that way you have different boards that appeal to different players, which is the way we like to do it.
Will it be a default to be determined? We're still putting the fine tuning on this board and a bunch of others. So there's more of these coming down the pipe, and So to be determined. So there is one last surprise that we have before you go. So this is
yes, yeah, we have a special update today.
A special balance bundle that will be pushed pretty much after this stream, in about 20 minutes, and it's being rolled out. We think this is going to be a bit of a game changer this morning. So
no, it definitely is. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that the game of Gods Unchained will never have quite worked like this before. I think I'm not really allowed to get into it, but I will say that if our 6 champions played Gods Unchained, this would absolutely be Palace's favorite.
That's our stream for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been great to interact with you in the chat.
So here's a little preview, by the way, of one of the cards that'll be coming out, called Enter the Arena. This is I love this. The Orpheus chain is not a weapon in the way that the other ones are. It's more of a restraint, honestly, but it gets the point across.
Yeah.
And
it's a kind of a little allegory of the times that we live in that all of the champions are standing there united and paying homage. And it's something that we wanted to just sort of reach out to you all and say thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting Gods Unchained. We love doing these streams, and we want to keep doing more of them. And we've sort of moved heaven and earth to make sure that we could do this from home. And we're happy to do them and keep bringing them to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.